Hello everyone out there in YouTube land. Welcome back to how to build an F-14 or a GB, or no, it's actually both. As you can see from the last video, nothing's changed. It's kind of hard to get motivated to wax all of that, since you gotta do 3 coats of wax and then buff it all off. Just kind of been unmotivated to mess with it. Good news is, as soon as I get back from my work trip this week, Friday night, Saturday morning, this is going to get molded this weekend. So the top of this fuselage will be done come Monday morning, or I'm gonna not get it done. But no, I'm definitely planning on getting this done by Monday morning, so here in less than a week, because the plan, as I have said before, is molds will be completed by the end of April. At least everything I have plugs for. The stuff I don't have plugs for are slats for each wings. That's two plugs. The carry through wing spar for the fuselage, so that's 3. And then there's all the stuff for like the gear doors, the speed brakes, the cockpit tub, the glare shield covers for both the pilot and the Rio, that stuff. So everything I've got plugs for right now, which is everything I've already molded in the fuselage. So all this stuff will be done by the end of April, which actually will become around the 15th of April, because around the 16th of April I'm leaving for 2 weeks for work. So basically I'm giving myself 3.5 weeks to get this fuselage done, and working a full-time job, and spend family time, and working on GB, and help paint a Spitfire, and hopefully finish rebuilding the turbine in the Eurosport and get the Eurosport ready to fly. So as you can see, I've got a ton of stuff to do in a very little amount of time. The reason why I'm saying this needs to be done by the end of April, or the 15th of April, however you want to look at it, is the First in Flight Jet Rally in Wilson, North Carolina. Here's a plug out to Robert Vess and all the great guys who put on that event each year. I am going to have a prototype F-14 fuselage at that event, one way or the other. The only way I will not have an F-14 fuselage there is if I don't go. And I'm pretty much 99% positive I'm going. The only thing that's going to keep me from going is work. So that's where the F-14 is. Vacuum bag machine over there is essentially done. I've got to build up the manifold to separate into 7 lines. That way I can do pretty much an entire fuselage and 1 wing panel at once and get all that stuff molded. I showed y'all in a previous video all the stuff I've got. I ordered, well, actually I bought a whole bunch of carbon fiber from Pete up in Canada. Sent me a whole bunch of stuff for a great deal on this stuff. It's anywhere from 6 ounce to, well, I think 12 ounce cloth. So this should be enough to get 1, possibly 2 carry through wing spars done. So once I got all that carbon cloth, I got the 3 ounce cloth down there for the fuselage and the horizontal stabilizers, and then whatever's left I'll use. I got a whole lot more carbon cloth I got to pick up for wings and stuff, and I got a whole lot more materials I got to buy for this thing. And the downside is I'm running out of money. Actually, I've been running out of money. I'm just finding it in places that, by mostly selling stuff I don't really want to sell, but priorities, you know how they go. So F-14 will have a fuselage by the end of May. It probably won't have any of the bulkheads or stuff in it. It's just going to be a shell, but I'll at least have a fuselage, so to give me an idea of if my molds and plugs and all that stuff are going to work as far as parting planes go to get the thing out of it. So you never know, it might get stuck. Knock on wood. Alright, so over here the GB. Mentioned in previous video I was going to do a GB. What you're looking at is, oh, I don't know, like 3 weeks work. I started off with window Hostetler plans. I wasn't very impressed. This is a quarter scale version, by the way, which is actually more like 26.5 because the wingspan's 80 inches instead of the 70 some odd that it should be at quarter. So took window Hostetler's plans, completely redrew the plans. The only thing that's the same between what you see here and the window Hostetler plans is the firewall. Literally, that's it, just a firewall. Everything else is completely different. Horizontal stabilizer, it's completely different. Rudder shape is different. This whole area is different. The door, I mean, everything is different. The wing's different. So it's pretty, it was supposed to be a quick and easy, but it turned out to be short and painless, or short and painful, however you want to look at it. But this is going to get the motor that's on the Focke-Wulf. Hopefully the Focke-Wulf gets picked up and sold here in a couple of weeks, because the money from that's going to a new turbine for the Eurosport. So the turbine that was in the Eurosport goes in the prototype F-14. Cheap turbine, just in case anything happens. I don't have to worry about the cheap turbine getting... It's cheaper than a brand new one, as I'm saying. They're not necessarily cheap, but y'all know what I'm saying. Anyways, so GB, as it sits, scale airfoil, it's extremely thin. As you can see, it's like 3/4 of an inch thick at the thickest point, maybe 7/8. Sierra giant scale landing gear. Fuselage structure. I'll open a door here. See, fuselage structure is, majority of it is 1/4 inch square balsa with some 1/4 inch square sheet in key areas, mostly like around the where the wing carry through spars go through. There's a piece of 1/4 inch balsa for the firewall to attach to, and then some 1/4 inch balsa there that the horizontal stab gets high sawed to. So originally that was supposed to be light plywood. This thing already weighs 4 pounds less than it should, just by getting rid of those light ply sides and doing 1/4 inch stick balsa built up instead. I'm shooting for 21 pound, ready to go out the door, flying, and really I'd hoping for 20, but 21's I'd be happy. 22 I'd even be happy. Same motor as the Focke-Wulf, like I said, so if it's 21 or 22 pounds, that's still 7.5, 8.5 pounds lighter than the Focke-Wulf, so it should fly great. Open areas will be covered with Stitz fabric, just like the real one. The rest of it, all fiberglass, sanded extremely smooth in paint. So that's the Focke-Wulf. I can't remember if I showed this to you guys when I was building it. I think I made a video, but I didn't upload it because I didn't really do a whole lot to show you. But take a little seat here. It's just I think a 20-gallon. Hello, Samantha. Everybody say hi to Sammy. It's just a 20-gallon air compressor tank. I went and I had it kind of steam cleaned on the inside to get rid of anything that may be there. There's the other one, Lacey. The gas vacuum pump, Ready to Rain pump, does 10 CFM free air and something like 26 inches of vacuum. The gray box is holding all my the relay and the vacuum controller and all that stuff for the pump. Over here, just the filter, then a muffler for the pump. This is a MAC valve. What it does is when the pump kicks on, it instead of drawing straight on the tank, what it does, there's a little reservoir here made from PVC pipe that empties the vacuum, or it starts sucking vacuum from the smaller reservoir first. That way the pump can start up and it doesn't draw quite as much amperage or something like that. That's how it was explained to me. Anyway, and then the line from the MAC valve comes over to here, goes into the tank fitting, vacuum gauge. As you can see, it's at 7 inches of vacuum. This thing has literally, it started off at 26 inches of vacuum. That was a month and a half ago, and it's just now down to 7. I could put it on 26 inches of vacuum, and literally I can leave it here for 2 or 3 days and it won't budge, and then it takes a while for it to come down. And then I've got the little on-off valve here for that'll be the main shut-off valve for all the vacuum tubes. And then this is a little aquarium fitting I picked up. It's a 1/4 inch inlet tube to 3/16 outlet tubes. I'm planning to run probably 3/8 inner diameter vacuum tubes from this manifold out to each bag, so I've got to come up with some way of enlarging these tubes. Then so the 3/16 inner diameter will go to 3/8 outer diameter, and then this I'll just get 1/4 inch vacuum line to go to. Reason why I went with this thing's like $7 for this. If I would have made this out of these little valves and a whole bunch of T's, I probably had $100 in brass parts. $100 or $7, and the $7 looks a whole lot nicer, and it's really nice and compact. The one with brass T's, I mean, he probably would have been that long. So that's how it works. Plug it up, it sucks it down to vacuum, which I've got a little port here on the box. You probably can't, you can see the hole there. You can go in there and you can actually adjust the vacuum with that, and then once it hits the vacuum part, or the vacuum point you set, shuts off. Once it gets within 2 or 3 inches of vacuum below that, it comes back on, so it cycles on and off the whole time to keep the vacuum. So just a little update for you guys and gals out there in YouTube land. It's been, well, probably about a month since I put a video up, and like I said, no motivation to wax that F-14, but I'm actually going to go and I'm going to start waxing that thing today as soon as I get done with this video. So come the end of this afternoon, the F-14 will be waxed. Friday night when I get home around midnight, I will shoot some PVA on that thing, and then Saturday morning when I get up at bright and early, at probably 6 or 7 a.m., I am gonna start shooting some or start laying some surface coat resin on that thing. So hopefully come Sunday we'll have an F-14 fuselage top mold completed, and that thing will get yanked off the parting planes, flipped over, and then I can finish doing the filling around the aft end of the fuselage. And then at the same time, I'm also going to get the parting planes made up for the front of that thing on the left side of it, where all those blisters and all that stuff are for the gun ports and all. And I get that molded up, and then I got a whole lot more parting planes to go around those inlets and down the center of the nacelles. So yeah, that's the F-14. There's a GB. There they both are. GB done by the end of May, hopefully. Once that one's done, if it flies good and I like it, I'm doing a half scale version with welded stainless steel tubing for the fuselage. And when I say half scale, I actually mean 55%, so it's gonna be about 170 inch wingspan. Big GB, no composites. I'm not doing another one right now. But there we go. Until this weekend, y'all have a good week. Don't work too hard, and we'll see you back in the shop.